$5.25. That's what the coffee costs now, from the same machine, if you can even call it the same machine. They replaced it 2 years ago. Newer buttons, same lukewarm cup that burns your tongue if you drink it too fast. You still buy it every morning. Habits don't care how much money is in your account. They just care that you're standing in the same spot at the same time. You work at a distribution center outside Reno now. Different job than you started with. Same rhythm though. Scanners beeping, pallets moving, the kind of noise that never stops, just changes pitch depending on the hour. Today is not a special day. Nothing on the calendar. No promotion, no anniversary. Just a Tuesday. But today is the day the numbers finally cross.
You start the way most people start, which is to say quietly and without telling anyone. $18 an hour. After taxes, close to $1,150 every 2 weeks. Rent is $740 for a studio above a laundromat that hums until midnight. You've stopped hearing it. You open a brokerage account on a Sunday night, still in your work boots because you can't think of a reason not to. It asks you questions about risk you don't fully understand. You guess. You pick the option in the middle, the one that sounds the least like gambling and the least like doing nothing. You set up an automatic transfer. $60 every payday. Gone before you can spend it on something that feels more real in the moment. You don't tell anyone. It isn't a secret. It's just not a story yet. There's nothing to tell. A coworker named Priya, who runs the forklift on the far side of the warehouse, mentions once that she's been doing something similar for years. You ask her how it's going. She shrugs and says, "I don't really know. I don't look at it much." You think that's strange advice, until years later, you understand it's the only advice that ever mattered. The account sits there. $60 becomes $300, becomes $900. Nothing dramatic happens. Nothing is supposed to.
3 years in, and the coffee is still $4.75. That part hasn't changed yet. Your account has. It crosses $19,000 that spring, mostly from the transfers, a little from the market doing what markets slowly do when nobody's watching. One Thursday, you notice a line in the app you've never paid attention to. Dividend received, $52. You almost laugh. $52. Deposited by a fund with a name you still can't say out loud with confidence, for doing absolutely nothing. Your electric bill that month is $51. You don't announce it. You just sit at your kitchen table and notice, quietly, that something that isn't your labor just covered something you needed. Priya gets a new car that year. Not flashy, but new, with a payment that follows her around like a second job. You don't judge her for it, you just notice the shape of it. A choice that looked like progress and cost something invisible in return. You keep the same car you had at 24. It has a sound in the door now. You've been meaning to fix it. You haven't. The drop doesn't announce itself either. It starts on a Monday, the way they always seem to. By the following month, your account is down 17%. In dollars, that's real enough to make your chest tight. $41,000 becomes $34,000 in a matter of weeks. You stand in the break room, thumb over the app, one tap away from making it stop. You don't tap it. Not because you feel brave, you don't. Your stomach is doing something it usually saves for performance reviews, but some sentence you half remember from somewhere keeps repeating. The loss isn't real until you sell. So you don't sell. The automatic transfer runs anyway, on schedule, blind to the news. It buys shares at the lower price without asking your permission or checking how you feel about it. 6 weeks later, the market climbs back. Not all the way, not yet, but enough. The shares bought during the worst week, the ones that felt like a mistake in real time, are already worth more than what you paid. You don't celebrate. You just notice, the way you noticed the $52 3 years earlier, quietly. Your supervisor offers you a lead role, more pay, close to $7,800 a year before taxes. More hours, too. Weekends during peak season. More people looking to you when something breaks on the floor. 10 years ago, you'd have said yes before she finished the sentence. Instead, you ask for a few days. She's mildly surprised. People at your level are supposed to want this. That night, you open the spreadsheet you've kept since you were 27. 2 columns. What the job pays, what the account pays. The raise works out to about $520 a month after taxes. Your account, sitting near $210,000 now, paid out just over $480 last month in dividends and interest alone. Not because you did anything differently, because you never touched it. $480 for doing nothing versus $520 for giving up your weekends. You turn it down. Nobody throws a parade for that. Nobody even notices, except you. You keep your Saturdays. You keep the transfer running.
This drop hurts differently, not because the percentage is worse, it isn't really, but because the dollars are bigger now, and dollars are what you actually feel. Your account peaks near $410,000, then slides to $340,000 by spring. $70,000 gone on paper. Everyone says on paper like it softens it. It doesn't feel like paper. It feels like something real just left the room. You lie awake running old math, the rent versus groceries kind of math you haven't needed in over a decade. You wonder if any of it was real or just luck that's finally calling in its debt. You call your mother that Sunday. She asks if you're okay. You say work's been stressful. It's not a lie. It's just not the whole truth. Because you don't know how to explain the rest of it without sounding like you're either bragging or panicking. Somehow it's both. Here's what surprises you more than the drop itself. You don't quite fit anywhere anymore, and you didn't notice it happening. You don't talk numbers with Priya the way you used to, back when neither of you had much. You're not in the rooms where people talk about tax brackets and rental income. You've never been invited to that room. This is the loneliness nobody warns you about. Not the top-of-the-world kind people write books about. The middle kind, far enough that the old room doesn't fit, not far enough to have found a new one. The transfer runs anyway. Same amount, same day. It doesn't ask how you feel about belonging. It just does its job. 8 months later, the market comes back. Not in a straight line, but it comes back. The account closes the year higher than where it started.
Which brings you back to the Tuesday. Your paycheck this month, after taxes, comes to $4,120. Ordinary, expected, the kind of number you could recite in your sleep. Your investment income this month, dividends, interest, a small distribution from a fund you barely think about anymore, comes to $4,340. You check it twice, not because you don't trust the app, because you've been checking numbers like this since you were 24. And some habits don't know when to stop even after they've done their job. For the first time in your working life, the money that showed up while you slept outpaced the money you stood on a warehouse floor for. There's no ceremony, no email from your bank congratulating you. The scanner still beeps, the pallets still move, you still buy the coffee, still $5.25, still the same slightly hot cup that catches your tongue if you're not careful. You don't quit that day. You don't tell your supervisor. You go back to the floor same as always, because the crossing of a number doesn't rearrange the room you're standing in. It just quietly changes which choices are sitting on the table, waiting for you to notice them.
Here's the part nobody prepares you for, because it doesn't look like the montage you'd expect. You don't buy a boat. You don't post about it. You don't tell Priya, not right away, because there's still no clean sentence for it that fits into a break room conversation built for talking about overtime and car payments. What changes is smaller and stranger than that. You stop flinching at a car repair bill. Not because you're rich, you don't feel rich, but because the number no longer threatens the rent. You take a Tuesday off midweek for no reason at all, and it doesn't cost you the way it used to. You notice 6 months later that you stop doing the rent versus groceries math in your head before you fall asleep. It just isn't running anymore. You still work. That surprises people when you finally do tell them. You're not chasing an exit. You're just no longer required to be there. There's a difference between staying because you have to and staying because, for now, you choose to. Nobody can see that difference from the outside. You can feel it every single day.
Priya, eventually asks you, half joking, half serious, how you did it. You don't have a clean answer. You didn't time a drop. You didn't find a secret. You just kept a small, boring transfer running for 17 years and didn't stop it when it got scary. That's not a satisfying answer. It's just the true one.
You're standing in a different machine now, in a different building, at a different hour, because your schedule is finally yours to choose. 5:25. Some things don't move even when everything else has. You used to think that number meant nothing, just a small, stubborn constant, while your whole life quietly rearranged itself around it. Now you think it means something else. It was never about the coffee. It was about proving, in the smallest way possible, over and over again for 17 years, that the money would still be there in the morning. It was, it is, and somewhere in an account that still doesn't know your name, doesn't know your shift schedule, doesn't know anything about you at all, the number keeps doing exactly what it's always done. It just does its job.